Yo, what is up guys, Drim here, and in today's video I figured I'd give you guys the inside scoop on my farming strategy for 3.20. So of course I'm going to be doing tons of Forbidden Sanctum. I'm going to spend every waking moment I can in there, but in addition to that I also have to make some currency. You know, if the Sanctum turns out not to be insanely profitable and is just mainly sanctified relics, I gotta get my currency from somewhere. So I've cooked up a pretty nasty Atlas passive tree and strategy, and I figured, you know, why not share it with everybody? I figured, you know, maybe someone will get some inspiration or have a good time with it, or maybe even want to do it themselves. All right, but the catch is, to do this strategy on League Start, you're gonna have to juice up your character, probably with a few of the items that I'm using here, and I'll explain those as well. So maybe you can modify your build a little bit if you want to walk down this path with me. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So what is the strategy? Well, in the past, I've gone for kind of singular league focused mechanics. You know, maybe I did only Eldritch Altars, maybe I did Legion. You know, people like to do Expedition, Blight, you name it, but they generally only focus on one mechanic. Well, this time we're going with the triple stack, the big burger of mechanics. And I think it's going to be a pretty damn good time. Now, why are we going with the triple stack? Well, there's just so much juice that is insanely synergistic this league that I think it's you know, it's foolish not to, essentially. Now, what is the juice? Well, we're going with Delirium, Legion, and beyond, and all of them have pretty much been buffed, and we'll go into exactly why that is when we get to each of them. All right, so these things all synergize together fantastically. We're going to start off here with Delirium. So Delirium is really in a good place right now, I think, in terms of low investment mapping. When you have the Delirium mirror on your map, as long as you clear, you know, 3 or 4 reward tiles, you basically almost feel like you're guaranteed to get 1 or 2 Delirium Orbs, which is, you know, obviously pretty insane. Delirium Orbs are generally around 10C, and they don't go much lower than that, even for the bad ones. And, you know, if you're getting a Delirium Orb every single mirror you do, well, you know, that's pretty damn good money. In addition to that, you can get multiple of them, and Delirium is on the map device this time, so it's never gonna cost more than 10C per map. You also get the Simulacrum Splinters and the rest of the loot to boot. So overall, you know, you pay for the mirror with 1 orb most of the time. So it's basically just free juice on the map device, so why wouldn't you want to do it? In addition to that, you know, if it gets too expensive on the map device, well, you should take a look at the compass. Maybe it will be cheaper than the map device. Likely it will be for the most part, because people want to sell the compass, they'll have it anyway, and you know, they're going to sell it cheaper than the map device, otherwise no one's going to buy it. So there's plenty of ways to get really cheap Delirium. In addition to that, you know, we've obviously got all of the normal good stuff spec'd in here. You know, we've seen the new Delirium Atlas passive nodes. You know, okay, they're not going to be on this strategy. I've taken a look at them, but you know, maybe they'll be on another one, but we are probably going to go with the traditional nodes this time. So, you know, we've got the extra chance at the reward tiles everywhere, pretty much, and we've got the extra fog to make sure that we can clear the full map without any issues on the Delirium front here. So that's going to be one part of the strategy. All right, next up, we of course have the big dog. We have Legion, the absolute god tier Giga Chad league mechanic for League Start. It is absolutely just mega money. Why is it mega money? Well, it drops Legion emblems, and those emblems sell for a ludicrous price to early 5-way runners. Why is it so why do they pay so much? Well, they're getting not only massive currency from people buying boosts to level 100 on day 1 and 2, wonder where they get that money from, but they're also getting insanely overpriced Legion jewels, which, you know, obviously fly off the shelf. And, you know, okay, they're making all that money, well, they're gonna end up paying us more for the emblems as well. So it's a good thing. We all know how good Legion is. You know, I'm preaching to the choir here. We don't even know what the new Legion node is yet at the time of this video, but, you know, if it's good, we'll factor that in as well. But, you know, right now, the traditional stuff is already really super good. In addition to that, the thing about Delirium and Legion is that we're also getting new Arc Nemesis modifiers, which give you new conversions of items. And, you know, if even one of these is good, it's going to be a massive boost to the strategy overall. So, you know, I'm pretty excited. In addition to that, people are now clued into fractured items. They know what's up. They're going to be looking for them. And you are the #1 supplier. as a Legion farmer of fractured items. You get so many of them, you know, set those dump tabs up, you're going to be making a fortune. All right, next up, I don't actually have any Atlas passive points for this one here. It is Beyond. Now, Beyond is a bit of a funny mechanic because the actual nodes on the tree just, they suck, man. They suck. You know, there's like some ones here, like the 30% ones, you know, you could take them. 2 points there, I actually might do that. But then the other good nodes are all the way down here, and it's only 15% tainted currency, right? The rest are pretty much garbanzo. Now, overall, you know, take those 2 nodes, you know, that's it. But then you're going to grab the compass or the Atlas, or the map device, because it is on the map device. One or the other. So you have plenty of options about what you want to do here. It's pretty good, pretty flexible. I'm a big fan of that. But why Grimro? Why are you doing Beyond? It's garbage, isn't it? Well, no, it's not. As long as they don't nerf the drop rate of tainted fusings, you actually get a pretty damn good amount of them. And tainted jewelers and chromatics also sell for a pretty good amount. Now, they buffed tainted fusings in the new patch. In the past, tainted fusings were a 1 in 4 chance to grant your item, which is corrupted, an extra link. And now it's going to be a 1 in 2. So on average, you needed about 16 tainted fusings before to get a 6th link, if you use the bench trick with the jewelers, right? And now you only need 4. So it's pretty crazy. We're going to be printing 6 links. You can either use them yourself, you can sell them, you know, you can do all sorts of things, man. But I have a feeling Beyond is going to be worth investing in early. And, you know, you can do some pretty insane commerce by, you know, like getting some items, corrupting them, and then 6 linking them and then selling them back. I think it's going to be a pretty big money spinner, and that's why I'm investing in that there. So overall, pretty damn nice. You know, not too bad. All right, so now that we know the strat, let's talk about the map. Of course, you know, they didn't ban it, they didn't remove it. It's got to be Dunes. You know, obviously you could do this on another map like Jungle Valley and all sorts of stuff like that, but Dunes is really nice, man. It's just, it's home, dude. That's where it is. We got to go there. So it's going to be Dunes for me. There's plenty of other options. I actually have a max roll guide written about Legion, which I'll link down below. You guys can check that out if you want, and it's going to give you the lowdown on maybe a few other options and, you know, how to do everything. It's pretty damn nice. All right, okay, so let's get into an actual map here, and I'll show you guys how it kind of looks. I got some other Scarabs in here. You'll probably be running some form of Harbinger Scarab, some form of Legion Scarab. I would recommend Polished Plus, absolutely, and Gilded if you can do it, which we actually can, but I just don't have any in my stash right now. And then, you know, we're running an ambush here. Probably wouldn't run that, actually. Legion on the map device here, we'll just pretend that's the Sanctum modifier because, you know, normally we'll have Delirium or we'll have Beyond here, and then we got a map. Now on my compasses here, I do have Mirror of Delirium and Beyond. You'll be wanting to get those because we got to get the triple here, man. We got to go the triple down mechanics here. All right, let's get into a map and I'll show you guys what it looks like. But first, let me give you guys a bit of a rundown. So this is actually my character from the previous video with a few amendments. Now you can go and you can look a full explanation of the character. If you want to start this and you want to be able to get to here early and as fast as possible, there's a pretty much full breakdown on how to do that. All the gear is pretty cheap. The only thing which changed was I'm using some ailment of void boots and a chest, and you know that's the only thing on them. You know the other implicits are not relevant. It's just ailment of void, and you know that's it. You know, block and chaos rays. I don't think so, man. Yeah, so that's it. Now there is 2 other amendments that I've made to that build, and that is using shadows and dust. These gloves are actually insane if you don't need anything in your glove slot. They're absolutely bonkers. Just go and Google Rampage on the wiki and watch how many stacks I get in this video. And then in addition to that, I also upgraded from 1 inspired learning to 2 inspired learnings because I'm speechless, man. It's crazy how much better the build gets when you have 2 inspired instead of 1 inspired. Everything else is the same. All right, let's go in. So when you get into the map, the first thing you want to do is obviously pop the Delirium mirror, and I guess we'll juice up on this pylon here, and we'll just get blasted. So you can see here, it's pretty much full screen coverage now with the amendments I've made. It's pretty insane, man. For a League starter, which I know I'm definitely going to be able to get to at least personally on day 2, full cracking legions in Deli. Whew. Oh boy, yeah, it's pretty damn nice. Obviously not for everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are not too particularly keen on the bow playstyle, but that's okay. Anyway, we'll be clearing this map out here. So obviously prioritizing looting last. That's the Delirium way, but it's looking pretty damn nice so far. Okay, we got some pretty good juice here. And you can see, you know, obviously, like, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I got some tanky mobs there. I think there's Beyond mobs. That is indeed the Beyond mobs. So we're looking to try and spawn the Beyond boss here because most people consider the Beyond boss a big downside, but it's actually what you want to be seeing. You know, Beyond bosses per hour is the goal here because they drop guaranteed tainted currency. And that tainted currency is actually scaled by the increased item quantity on the map as well. So the harder you roll the maps, this one isn't rolled very hard, the more tainted currency you're going to get, man. And that also works with map quant, but also you can increase the map quant by using the Atlas passive nodes at the top of the tree, and that is also going to increase the amount of tainted currency you're getting, which is really nice. So overall, I think Beyond is pretty damn great, TLDR. But yeah, we'll go through this Legion. I can't seem to find the last mob, that's fine. Okay, it was the boss here. We'll clear this bad boy out. Goodbye, Hyrie, you died. And you can kind of get the general gist of the strategy here. So this is a strategy we definitely want to be doing, you know, on day 2, day 3, but it's going to be good all league long. It's going to be a little bit less good, obviously, when everyone gets on it, which they inevitably will, I'm sure. But it's definitely particularly insane early. Now, the downside of this strategy is that you're obviously not going to be clearing maps as fast as something like an Alchemy Ghost strategy or an Eldritch Altar Pure kind of mapping strategy. So you're not going to get as much exposure to the Sanctum. But you know, overall, I think it's fine. You're making so much money that you can go and check out the Sanctum after you make all that cash and you get some big upgrades. So we'll just quickly clear the boss out here, and I think we've pretty much checked out all we want to check out, right? We don't really need to see anything else here. We got all the juice that we need. All right, so we'll just jump out here, and then we'll kind of do a bit of a wrap up. Oh, do we get it? We got one Deli Orb. Okay, so you kind of get the idea there. We're gonna go to this abyss. 33 simulacrum splinters, so if that was in the league and I paid 10C for that, I'd be pretty happy with that, in addition to that. So let's go over a few extra things here that you guys are going to want to know about this strategy, and that we can also talk about. So Delirium Orbs are really annoying to sell. They're really annoying, and if you don't have like a really good one, like skittering or anything like that, chances are you're going to have to bulk sell them on TFT for a big loss. Well, you can actually use Harvest to swap over your Delirium Orbs all into the same type, and you can make sure it's a pretty good type, and then you can sell them all at once. Pretty damn nice. Now, this strategy specifically is actually going to complete Delirium mirrors likely faster than pure Delirium strategies. So, mappers who do like the Delirium strands, a lot of those guys like to invest in stuff like Blight, which, some people are starting to move away from that, but they generally take quite a long time during their maps. So for pure Deli Orb generation, this is a pretty damn good method. Most of the time, you're going to be looking at getting 6 or 7 rewards, which is pretty damn nice. It's going to give you a good threshold at getting those orbs. But what we're looking for here is actually a craft here, which changes Delirium Orbs into a different type. And you can just check and see which Delirium Orbs are really hot right now, and just convert them all until all of them hit a really hot amount, and then you can sell the stacks of those, because all of them will kind of like concatenate into a really good type, and it'll be way easier to sell them. Overall, pretty damn nice. And that's kind of going to be the strat, guys. You'll easily be able to infinitely sustain. You'll have no issues with, the currency flow. And, overall, you can definitely scale the mechanics a lot better. But overall, I'll just give you a quick rattle it off what I'm going to be using in terms of my materials. So for materials, I'm going to be using Beyond on the compass or the map device, depending on prices. I'm going to be using Delirium Mirror, either on the compass or the map device. Again, depending on the prices, we'll interchange those depending on what we need. I'm probably going to be using Harbinger as a compass as well, because I think that they're going to be insane. And then the final one will probably either be like Hunter Traitors, Legion, or it will also be Science Farming, which will allow you to get a bunch of Scarabs. Most likely it's going to be Legion, but it depends on the prices again. Now for Scarabs, it's probably going to be Gilded Legion. It's probably going to be, Rusted or Polished Harbinger. It's probably going to be Rusted or Polished Cartographer. And then, the last one, it's kind of whatever. You can use a sack frag, or maybe use something like, something spicy. I don't know. But overall, that's going to be where it's at, guys. And that's going to be what I'm going to be doing at League Start. I imagine it's going to make a ton of currency. Keep your eyes peeled for the updates. There's going to be plenty. And obviously, keep an eye out for the Forbidden Sanctum info. And if you're thinking and a bit on the fence about the League Starter, I'd probably play it safe and see how it goes for the Grim. But overall, you guys have kind of seen how it kind of transitions into the next stage now. You've seen the early, you've seen the mid, and then obviously you guys know what endgame bow builds look like, so you guys can kind of make your own decision. It's a pretty insane build once you get the juicing items, the double inspired, the shadows and dust. the adrenaline ring. It's pretty nuts. Anyway, with all that said, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of a video, make sure to hit the like button. But if you didn't like it, leave me some feedback and a dislike. Anyway, see ya.